Hi, Namaskar. I'm Dipanjan Arana Boshu. I'm Dipanjan Arana Basu. Um, Today I'm going to talk about Hindi imperialism. Hindi imperialism, what it is, or is it at all real or fake? Or if it is real, then how to spot it, where to spot it, what to do about it. So I'm going to talk about all these things today. And I'm going to take this live in English only for today because I have spoken about this issue in Bangla before, but this time the main target audience is um, people who do not are people who do not speak Bengali. So in general, I want to address to them because many of them do not even believe that something called Hindi imperialism exists. So this video is dedicated to them, and I want to point out the main characteristics and what are the aims of Hindi imperialism. Hindi imperialism, huh? Hindi imperialism, first and foremost, if we look at it, what is it? It basically is an aim to gain an uniformity amongst a whole group of people, whole lot of people, and that uniformity will not be based on equality. It will be based on the dominant group's culture, dominant group's habits. The others have to imbibe that. Now, in Pakistan, there was Urdu imperialism before. There still is, which Balochistan, Sindh, and many other provinces are fighting against. We have come across British imperialism for centuries. We have come across Roman imperialism, but today in India we have Hindi imperialism. Hindi imperialism is something which in general creates a divide between people and tries to make the Hindi people seem superior to others in comparison within the same country, in the same union, in the same state, by giving special benefits to the people who speak Hindi. But then again, why don't people spot it? Why don't people spot it? People don't spot it because Hindi imperialism is not a very, what do I say, not a very directly approached weapon to conquer people, to subjugate people. Hindi imperialism comes in various shapes and sizes. It comes in various ways, and it usually is something like people are discriminated on the basis of language. People, I'm going to draw a parallel actually. Instead of harping on Hindi imperialism so much, I'm going to help you with examples, and I'm going to explain it to you. Say Black Lives Matter. Sometime back, Black Lives Matter made a lot of news. People were saying Black Lives Matter, and then suddenly a group of people, rather who were not blacks, came up with All Lives Matter. You might say, yes, of course, all lives matter. What is the problem? But the problem lies, these people were not saying all lives matter when black lives were actually in danger. When black lives were in danger, blacks were being subjugated, these people were not saying all lives matter. People who call out people for saying Black Lives Matter are actually the ones either who were subjugating them, who were discriminating on blacks, or were covering up for people who were discriminating on blacks. Either way, they are either the people who are responsible for that torture or the discrimination, or they are conspirators. They are part to the crime. There are a lot of men who brand women who fight for their rights I mean, feminists essentially, who feminism is essentially about egalitarianism. It has nothing to do with misandry. It has nothing to do with speaking bad about men or subjugating men. But there are men who cannot handle women, or who cannot accept women, who speak about equality, who speak about equal women rights. They call them feminazis. Nazi, huh? They don't even do they even know what Nazi actually means, what Nazis actually did. But they call them feminazis. These are the same people who had been subjugating women. Now I come to Hindi imperialism. Hindi imperialism does exactly that. Hindi people who deny Hindi imperialism are either people who don't understand how the world, how India works, or how things in India work, or they are the one who are actually imposing Hindi imperialism everywhere. And how? Imperialist subjugation or racism is not a law and order issue. First and foremost, you need to understand that it is not a law and order issue. It is not. When you protest against Hindi imperialism, when you protest against racism, when you protest against patriarchy, when you protest against discrimination of LGBTs, it is not a law and order issue. It is not a protest against one person. Same with Hindi imperialism. It is not a law and order issue, and it is a mindset issue. It's extremely hard for a person from an imperialist group to understand this. When the British subjugated, the fight was against the ethnicity as a whole, and not just the British people who were in positions of power who were kind of discriminating on us. Rather, it was against them as a whole, as a group, as an ethnicity, as a race. I know British isn't exactly a race, but it is an ethnicity nevertheless. It is a linguistic race. Anyways, because whenever they discriminated, or whenever somebody does not discriminate also amongst British, they did not stand up against their own kind. They did not stand with us and tell their fellow ethnic brothers and sisters that what you are doing is wrong, and I am fighting with them against my own group of people. They didn't do that. Now, when they didn't do that, they become conspirators to the crime. They become partners in the crime. And whoever came to power never fought against his own kind for the ones subjugated and discriminated. I'm pretty sure even during Jallianwala Bagh in 1919, or during the Bengal genocide, which killed close to 5 lakh people in 1943 by the British and the Hindustanis businessmen of Kolkata. Now, whenever these happened, there were groups in London saying, "Not in my name." We see a lot of "not in my name" protests in the we've seen them in last few years. Not in my name. I didn't do it. But did any of them try in 1943, in 1919, or even in the recent "not in my name" protests? Did any of them try to fight to give the people, the indigenous people, the victims, or the people who have been attacked, their rights? No. What does "not in my name" mean? The "not in my name" basically means that I didn't do it. You can't say that I have done it. Somebody else has done it. So it's an escapist protest. It is an escapist protest, and they are actually conspirators to the same problem. They are party to the same problem. They are protecting the people who are discriminating others. So, because they didn't ever fight the real issue. People who are getting lynched, people who are, people who are Dalits, people who are Muslims who get lynched, people who are atheists who get killed, did they directly target the people who are murderers, or the lynchers, or the attackers? No. They just came to a place, a very neutral place, a very safe place, and says, "Not in my name. I didn't do it." Same way, so many other Hindustanis don't understand beyond a few words anything about our issues with the idea of Hindustan. We are a part of equal India, the Union of India, where a lot of linguistic groups are living together in alliance. It's an union. It's not a nation. India is not a nation. We are the nations. Bengalis are a nation. Tamils are a nation. Marathis are a nation. Punjabis are a nation. Nagas are a nation. Just like Europeans are, as in Spanish, Germans, English, French, and so on. Same way, we are nations on our own. Tamil Nadu, the Nadu means nation. West Bengal is a Bengali nation within the Union of India. Yes, we respect India. We are within the Union of India. We love being part of India. But India is not a nation. We are not a nationality. We are a union. And we want to live in an equal union. Whereas Hindustanis have made it their property, every place in India, and they're trying to discriminate on us on linguistic basis, on religious basis, and they are trying to capture our lands, taking our jobs. How? Or businesses, how? By not conducting any all India exam in anything except Hindi and English. Now you might say, why don't you have a problem with English? I don't have a problem. I do have a problem with English. It's an elite language. 90% of the population is not comfortable with it. It gives jobs to elites. It gives tenders to elites. It gives businesses to elites. But it's still neutral. I have a problem with Hindi because I play an away match on my home ground in Bengal, writing my exam for army in English, and I am not that comfortable in English, or my fellow team member or my friend is not that comfortable in English, but the person sitting beside me is a class 8 pass out and knows only Hindi. I have no problem with him knowing it, but the issue is he is giving his exam in his mother language and he cracks it. So Hindi speakers need to be just around par to get the job. They are playing a home match on my home ground. I am playing an away match in English on my home ground. I won my exams in Bengali. I won my exams in Tamil. I won my exams in Punjabi. I won my exams in Kannada. I won my exams in Tulu. I won my exams in Naga. That is what we are talking about. Every exam of education and every exam of jobs, be it public, be it private, they must happen in all languages so that every Indian is eligible. It is discrimination of everybody except somebody who speaks Hindi, or should I say Hindi Urdu, the Hindustani as a whole. India is not a Hindustani colony. From India they have made a Hindustani colony, that is Hindi heartland, Hindustan, and non-Hindi states like us, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Gujarat. By the way, speaking of Gujarat, joint entrance exam for engineers is available in English, Hindi, and Gujarati. The Prime Minister, the Home Minister, made their people's job secured, their people's future secured. That's another matter. But we want it in all the languages, all the scheduled languages. In every state, the states should be able to conduct languages in all the scheduled languages, or conduct exams in all the scheduled languages. That's what we are talking about. It's discrimination of everybody who is not Hindi in India. And we want a United States of India in the true sense where we are all equal. If we go further, we talk about businesses. In Bengal, you can apply a tender in Bengal without knowing Bengali. You write your tender, you write your proposal, make your bid in English. So this way the job is open to everybody who is not from Bengal. Not that in Bengalis do not speak English, but the point is it's an open door. Anybody can get that job. Look at Karnataka. We have a lot to learn from them. Karnataka has a government had some time back had given a notice that all Kannada government tenders must, the advertisements for them, they must be printed in Kannada newspapers, in Kannada language, and the application also has to be given in Kannada language. Now you can understand, you don't have to put any reservation for localites. By doing this, you give the job to Kannadas, to Kannadiga people. That is what we want. Not even English newspapers. All government jobs, all government tenders, all government educational notifications, they must come out in Bengali newspapers only. In Bengali. I'm talking about state subsidized one only regarding education, not all, not private ones. But rest, yes. Jobs, everything. Tenders, everything. So that, and the application should be in Bengali also, so that it's the localites who automatically get the jobs. That is what we are aiming for. Now if we go further deep, how did the British rule us for 200 years? The British came here to do business. Now let me draw a parallel. The Marwadis came here in Bengal to do business, and maybe in so many other states. The Marwadis, the Gujaratis, the Hindustanis, the Sindhis, the Biharis, or rather, actually there is no ethnicity called Bihari. There's Bhojpuris. The Bhojpuris, Maithilis, and so on. So anyways, but especially the Marwadis and all, they came here to do business. Just like the British. The British, what did they do after that? After doing business for years and years, decades and decades, and almost a century, what did they do? They tried to capture land by conquest. And they bribe people, they bribe local people, they use money to gain that. And the local people betrayed each other, and that's how Siraj lost. That's how many kings lost. That's they made weird rules. They made rules in their land, and weird rules which were discriminatory to the kings and queens. And that's how Rai Lakshmibai, who did not have a son, a biological son after her, had to fight for him. What is happening now in Bengal? These people are bringing their Deswali bhais, the Deswali bands, from their own states. And because there is no domicile policy in the jobs, these people are occupying each and every job of ours. People are asking me to speak in Hindi, even in a Bengali movie theater. This is ridiculous. Every damn place, in Victoria Memorial, people ask you to speak in Hindi. In airport, people ask you to speak in Hindi. In rail police asks you to speak in Hindi. In the border between Bangladesh and Bengal, the BSF is not a single person almost who speaks Bangla, and people have been shot for that. I'm not talking about Bangladesh here. I'm talking about people who are residents of West Bengal, who are Indian citizens. They have been shot because they could not explain in Hindi to their own country's army, to their own country's BSF. That's unfair. That's preposterous. That's disastrous. My country doesn't understand me, or maybe the BSF maybe, but this is what we're talking about. These people, because there is no exam in Bengali, these people are bringing their Deswali bhais and bands and everybody, in our states. They're capturing our jobs, and they are spreading a rumor that Bengal has no jobs. How will it have? Bengal, I mean, if you see the data, Bengal of course has jobs. It's Bengalis who are not getting the jobs, because they're getting taking out advertisements saying Bengalis did not apply. They're taking out advertisements which says, I mean, only Marwari candidates are allowed. I have posted many of these. You can check my profile. We Bangla Pokka has posted many of these. You can check my profile. I've shared them from Liberal Ashes also. You can check that. It's Bengal has jobs. It's Bengalis who are not getting those jobs. And when more and more people are coming in, making this their workplace, they're spreading a rumor that there is no job here. Whereas, what are they doing? They are coming in hordes and hordes, and now they're becoming councillors. After which, they are becoming MLAs. After which, they are becoming MPs. We have so many councillors and MPs and MLAs right now, unlike other states, who do not speak Bengali, who some of them don't even understand Bengali. That is a serious concern. He doesn't understand what people in his or her constituencies are saying. They're speaking. How will they provide service? Why is there no essential criteria for jobs? I mean, for every job, for every politician, that speaking, reading, writing skills in Bengali is essential. You don't have to create a reservation. Just make an essential criteria. To get a job in Bengal, you must read, write, and speak Bengali. Plain and simple. You can't. But they don't have that. They don't have this rule. And so, after councillors, after MLAs and MPs who do not speak Bengali, very soon there will be a chief minister who will not speak Bengali. Yes, I know about Dilip Ghosh, who is dreaming of becoming the CM of West Bengal, but trust me, Dilip Ghosh to BJP is what Mir Jafar was to the British. They'll dispose of him within few years only. I do not like Dilip Ghosh. I hate Dilip Ghosh. But the fact is, the people who will come after him will be worse. That is what I'm trying to say. They will capture the land, but they do not want the Bengalis. And for Bengalis, what is waiting out there? For Bengalis, NRC is waiting out there. People are threatening that 2 crore Bengalis, or Bangals as they say, who had come during partition. Mind it, during partition, they were part of undivided India. The British, undivided British India, or should I say. India was created in 1947. Went under British as an independent Bangladesh in 1757. There was no India then. We got out by acceding to the Indian Union after 190 years. But partition happened with Punjab and Bengal only. And we are being asked to provide evidences from 50 years back, from 70 years back. I mean, my voter card is not good enough as a proof that I am a citizen, whereas for other parts of the country it is enough proof. In Assam, for Bengalis, it isn't. 40 lakh people are being branded stateless, and 38 lakhs are Bengalis. And there is no Muslim Bangladeshi concept or anything. That religious angle is ridiculous. It's the language which is being targeted. People are being picked by their surname. 38 lakhs are Bengalis, 28 lakh. It's very wrong to say it this way, but still I'm saying is Hindu Bengali, 10 lakhs is Muslim Bengali, there are some atheists and Buddhist Bengalis also. But it is clearly on the basis of language. You can see 2:3. It's just the population ratio. That there is no Muslim targeting or Hindu targeting or anything. It's just Bengalis who are being targeted everywhere. And it's Bengalis who are being termed as termites by our Home Minister. It's Bengalis who are being termed as outsiders. Whereas it was Bengalis who fought the most and gave the most blood for Indian independence. In Andamans, close to 600 people were there in the prison. Out of them, around 400 were Bengalis. Yes. So, what British did, the Hindustanis are doing the same. They conquered, they took power in one place after another, and by legal means, by illegal means, what happening in Kashmir is now illegal. It's against the constitution, but this is not our point of discussion today. Bangla is swarming currently with Hindustani councillors, MLAs, MPs. Only CM is left. Probably not for long. They too, like the British, bring out job advertisements saying Bengalis need not apply. Just like the British says, dogs and Indians not allowed. In our land, we are saying Bengalis do not apply. They too, like British, are discriminating on the indigenous. Bengal is 98.4% meat eating. I'm not saying non-vegetarian, because technically there is nothing called non-vegetarian, as if being vegetarian is something which is so good, and people who are not that. Hello, we are the majority. Be it in India, in Bengal. The entire world says meat eaters, and the exception is vegetarians. So let's say meat eaters and non-meat eaters instead of non-vegetarians. So Bengal is 98.4% meat eating, meat, fish, and so on, and eggs and so on. Every meat, which is popular here. So here in schools, they're giving notices. In schools, they're giving notices to bring only vegetarian food to students, to children who are 5 years old, 10 years old, and so on. In hospitals, my mother was in the hospital some time back, just last week only. She was forced to eat vegetables. I do not eat vegetables, but if I get admitted in hospitals, I will be given any of the private hospitals. I'll be given vegetables. Why? Now you may ask. You can go to one which is owned by Bengalis. Yes, but which one? They own all the malls. They own almost all our private schools. They own almost all our private hospitals. They own all the centers of power. How? Oh, the corpses and dead bodies of 5 million Bengalis, 50 lakh Bengalis in 1943. I think I by mistake said 5 lakhs at that time. It was 50 lakhs, by the way. It's 5 million actually, not 5 lakh. They don't give, and these Marwadis, Gujaratis, they don't give any contract, any business contract to Bengalis. They very rarely do. They keep it within our community, within their community. But we Bengalis don't have that unity. We give it to everybody. We are liberal, and that liberalism, where has that taken us? We have become servants in our own land. Yes, servants. In my office, all the bosses do not speak Bengali. All the high management people, all the security guards, all the house staff, all the cleaners, they are all Bengali. They're turning us into servants in our own land. And by the way, the middle level people, the employees like us, 30%, yeah, something of that, around that 30% of us may be Bengalis, not more than that. Kolkata is not just 30% Bengali. Bengalis form around 45% of Kolkata. And if we take Bengal, it's 86% Bengali. So why don't Bengal Why don't Bengal residents, the citizens of India living here, why don't they get the jobs in Kolkata? Sometime back, Times of India got an article out that people coming in Kolkata from rest of Bengal is less than people coming in Kolkata from Bihar. Yes, our own state people are outnumbered by people coming from Bihar. That's saying something. How are they coming here? They're coming here because we have opened the doors of all jobs, of all tenders, all contracts, everything. Now, I'm not saying you do not give it to them, but I'm just trying to say set some ground rules. They must read, write, and speak Bengali. That way, people who have lived here for a long time will get the jobs, irrespective of their surname. I don't really care about their surname, but people who are coming from outside taking over jobs, that won't be tolerated. Bengal has jobs. Bengalis don't have jobs here. People going to all these places, working in all these places, they didn't make the rule, I understand, but they're not standing up against it either. They're not standing with us in spite of being guests in our home, and it shows they're complicit to the problem. Being liberal is good, but being liberal in a lopsided, unequal world is not good. I'm setting ground rules, I'm setting the base for my own discrimination. That is unacceptable. I am then complicit with the oppressors. Some people say it is not a Hindi problem, but it's a class divide and all that. So, are you trying to say taking all exams in Hindi only, Hindi and English? Are you saying Hindi and English are a higher class and other people are lower class? Are you trying to actually are trying to brand? Because the problem is because the Hindi and English exams. So are these people who are so-called liberals, who are so-called communists, and so many other people who are saying it is a class divide? It is the main problem is a class divide. No, it is not a class divide, sir. It is not a class divide. Because if you say it's a class divide, it means you are saying Hindi English people are higher class, we are lower class. Because the discrimination happening on the base of language, not on the base of income. We are not able to sit in those exams, give it in our mother tongue, and get the jobs because of our language. Even if our language is a recognized language, even if our language is the 7th highest spoken language in the world, even if the language is the 2nd highest spoken language in India, still we can't give any government exam except railway. That too was done by a Bengali rail minister, Mamata Banerjee, but people keep abusing her. But that's a separate matter. Not about her. But we can't give any central government exams, union government exams. There is no central government, by the way. So this is what we are talking about. This is what I am talking about. When you say it has nothing to do with Hindi, you're completely wrong in this case, because it is the Hindi exams. It is the Hindi imposition, the Hindi imperialism, which is the vegetarianism, which is creating the divide. Actual goal of these people is Hindi. Hindi is the goal. But you cannot dangle it as a carrot and interest people on the base of that. Okay, that guy is Hindi, so maybe that's something great. I should be like, no. Hindi is the goal. The carrot is Hindutva. The carrot is Hindutva. People think Hindutva is the real problem. Hindutva is not the real problem. Hindutva is the means to achieve the end, which is Hindi, Hindu, Hindustan, which is Hindi imperialism in the true sense. So, if Hindutva was the main aim, then Durga temples wouldn't be broken down in Kanpur. Then imposition of vegetarianism wouldn't have happened in Gujarat. in Bengali community Durga Puja or Durga temple wouldn't have been attacked in Gurgaon. Not just Durga temples, actually, I'm talking a lot about Durga temples. I'm personally an atheist, but then again, even as many Monosha temples or Shitala temples or Buddhist monasteries should come up in Bihar or Jharkhand at par with the number of Hanuman temples coming up in Bengal or say Nagaland or Manipur. There's so many Hanuman temples, Ram temples coming up here, but I don't see Manasha temples, Shitara temples coming up there. So they are the Sahi Hindus, and the Hindus who do not speak Hindi have to be like them. In Bengali, they cannot say Joy Shri Ram. They have to say Jai Shri Ram. They cannot sing our national anthem, which was in the language it was written. They cannot sing. We cannot sing, sir. Jono Gono Mono Godhinayako Joyo He Bharot Bhagyo Vidhata. We have to sing in our own land in the cinema theaters, Jana Gana Mana Adhinayak this way. That's an insult to a national anthem, sir. Rabindranath Tagore has written it as Jono Gono Mono Odhinayako Joyo He Bharot Bhagyo Vidhata. Punjab, Sindhu, Gujarat, Maratha, Drabir, Utkal, Bongo, Bindho, Himachal, Jamuna, Ganga, Uchchal, Jalodhi, Tarango, Tabo Shubho Name Jage, Tabo Shubho Ashish Mage, Gahe, Tabo Joyo Gatha, Janogana Mono, মঙ্গলদায়ক জয় হে ভারত ভাগ্য বিধাতা জয় হে জয় হে জয় হে জয় 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 হে I cannot sing it in my own language. I have to sing my national anthem in Hindi, in Hindustani. I have to sing Jana Gana Mana. That's an insult to my national anthem. No, sir, I do not stand up when somebody says Jana Gana Mana. I only stand up when somebody sings Jono Gono Mono, because that's how it was written. Because I do not insult my national anthem. It's not Vande Mataram. It is Bonde Mataram. That's how Bankim Chandra had written it. Vande Mataram is an insult. So, as I was saying, these people turn us Bengalis, us Tamils, us Telugus into second-class Hindus, second-class Muslims in our own land. Second-class we have to be at par with their upper caste Hindustani Hinduism of the Hindi belt. We have to be at par with them. That is, we have to say Jai Shri Ram, and we have to praise Hanuman, and so on. Gods here really are second class. That is the true Hinduism. Ours is fake. Just like same way with Muslims, wearing hijab, wearing niqab. You have to be like Arabs. You have to learn Arabic. You have to speak Urdu. Or otherwise, Bengali Muslims are not really Muslims according to them. They have to speak Arabic. They have to speak Urdu. It's all are second class. This is Hindustani imperialism. Some people who again keep on harping about the class divide and talking about poor North Indians. Why are these poor North Indians or why are these poor Biharis and Marwadis not fighting for their rights in North India? Why swarming our lands and discriminating and depriving our poor people, our Dalits, our Muslims, our minorities, and taking away their rights, taking away their reservations in many places. West Bengal fertility rate is 1.6. We don't multiply like rabbits. But go and check UPs. Go and check Bihar's. Bihar's fertility rate is 3.4. It doesn't fit in there anymore. So they're swarming in here and taking away our jobs, our land. Overpopulation is actually a Hindustani problem. If you see it, it's just the Hindi belt which is overpopulated. None of the other states' fertility rate is so high. It's not a pan-Indian problem. It's the Khap panchayats which don't let them accept our progressiveness. Fine, but we cannot be expected to foot the bill every time. I don't fight to save a language. I'm fighting to save a group of people. That is what I'm talking about. And my group of people are of course Bengalis and are of course non-Hindis, because we are in this fight together, sir. We are in this fight together, ma'am. We are fighting to save our people, our land. Bengal for Bengalis, Tamil Nadu for Tamils, Punjab for Punjabis, and so on. That is what we are talking about. And if you truly believe Hindi imperialism does not exist, then sir, then ma'am, introduce all union government exams in all the scheduled languages of India in the respective states. Bengali shouldn't have to go and give railway exams in another state, whereas other states get to give their exam, the Hindi states get to give their exam in their own state. This, sir, is not acceptable. Introduce all exams, all union government exams in all the scheduled languages, which of course must have Bengali. I want to give my exam in Bengali. We people want to give our exams in Bengali in our land. Nobody plays a home match on my land, whereas I play an away match. That is not acceptable. All tenders must be available in my language, in my land. And then I will consider that Hindi imperialism doesn't exist, maybe. But till then, no. Because the Hindi imperialism discriminates us on the basis of language, on the basis of culture, on the basis of eating habits, culinary habits, everything. Bengal has 20% of India's coal mines, yet is not an owner of even one of them. Bengal has a lot of loans. Bengal once said that you don't have to give us any money. We won't be giving you money for a year. And trust me, as ironic it may sound, it's the union government which refused, because it's the union government who benefit from this arrangement. Bengal can pay off its entire loans in 1 year if they can keep their that year's earnings from coal mines. Yes, we are actually that rich, sir. We are actually that rich, ma'am. Yet we are poor, because we do not own our lands, we do not own our properties, we do not own our reserves, we do not own our jobs, we do not own our businesses, because of Hindi imperialism. Bihar pays 100 rupees, gets 312 in return. Bengal pays 100 rupees and gets only 43 rupees in return. This is equality? Even after so many years of independence? No, sir, it is not equality. No, ma'am, it is not equality. I will accept Hindi imperialism doesn't exist when we get ownership of our land, and and all exams and all jobs and all tenders are available in our languages, and only finance, defense, external affairs are handled by the union government. Rest all will be handled by us. Why do we have to believe their lie that only union government thinks good of about us and all our state governments are bad? Anybody can be in state government, be it CPIM, be it TMC, be it Congress, be it BAP. It's not my concern. Or somebody else, maybe somebody new. Never know. That's not my concern. My concern is why do we have to accept that CBI is better than CID? Why do we have to accept union government is better than state government? Union government is not the boss of state government. You may read that again. It's a round table conference, and union government is just the coordinator. So I will accept Hindi imperialism doesn't exist if I get all my jobs, all my tenders, all my exams, all my services in my own language, and I do my own food habits, my own culture is not trampled over by people coming from other states, and people are interfering in my state's affairs like it's happening around in other states, then I will say Hindi imperialism doesn't exist. Till then, rationalism is speaking for our own rights, not neutrality. Neutrality cannot work in a lopsided world. So till that day comes when we are all equals in an equal world, in an equal Indian Union, till Hindustani colony keeps on discriminating us instead of an equal India, my only reply to them is Joy Bangla. Yes, I repeat, Joy Bangla!